Hey guys, Gathering the Magic back again, and happy Sunday. It's time for another episode of the Splinterlands Land Market Watch. Today is March 9th, 2026, and this is episode number 48. So we're going to look at all things land. I know the focus isn't really on land right now. Everyone is talked and hyped about today being the last day of the Conclave Arcana sale. Packs are going very, very quickly. Alchemy packs sold out yesterday. Legendary packs sold out early this morning. And there's less than 12,000 standard packs to go. In just a few minutes, we're going to be doing a live stream. I will be a part of it, talking with Claiborne, with Blaze, Our Fate of Glory. Not sure if anyone else will hop on, so definitely check that out at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay, let's get back to land. So plots for sale. So 2 weeks ago we had 2,444. A little bit more this week, 2,488. Your cheapest land plot unsurveyed currently in game is $42.50. 2 weeks ago you were looking at $46.89. The best deal is over on Hive. There is one unsurveyed plot currently for sale. It's 600 Hive, I believe, which is $37.15. Land tracks and land regions, really no movement there. You can see 7,995 is the cheapest of the three tracks, and still just under 89,000 for the region. Time crystals, there is a very good deal. There are a couple sellers selling them way beyond or way below the cost in game. So if you wanted to buy them directly from Splinterlands, they're 100 DEC each. There is a seller selling them for right around 5 cents, but it comes out to just over 70 DEC. So 30% discount there if you want to load up on some time crystals. Totem fragments, you can see here, commons came down from $1.68 to $1.45. Rares came down from $9 to $7.91. Epics were $44.97, currently $41.60. The only one that went up were legendaries. 2 weeks ago, legendary totem fragments were $165. Currently, the cheapest is $175. Going to totems, the main thing I want you guys to look at for totems, look at the amount available compared to 2 weeks ago. So 2 weeks ago, there was only 50 common totems for $13.50 was the cheapest. Now there are 120 totems available. Cheapest is $10.90. Same thing with rares. 2 weeks ago, there was 26 totems. Cheapest was $74. Now there are 76 rare totems on the market. Cheapest being $60. Next, epic totems, $275. 2 weeks ago, 10 available. Now there are 30 available, starting at $208. And then finally, the legendary totems, no movement from 2 weeks ago. There's 6 available. The cheapest is just under $900. Okay, your totem claims. So commons are still $16.75. Rares are up from $89 to $95. Epics are still $349. Legendaries came down from $1,750 down to $900. Okay, Land Baron, if you wanted to come in right now, just buy the 50 cheapest plots off the market, how much it would cost? So currently it would cost you $587.59 or $11.75 a plot, which is down big time from, you can see, 2 weeks ago where it was over $740 at just under $15 a plot. Okay, your cheapest natural plots by resource. So the cheapest grain plot currently in game is $23, down from $26.75. Cheapest wood is $11, down from $13.50. Cheapest stone is $10.75. 2 weeks ago, $13.99. And your cheapest ore is $12.50. The next is $13.50. Now I really want to keep an eye on the stone and the ore plots because there was just a post. I did a video on it yesterday about the 2 new cards that will be produced using land resources, but they will be available to be used in ranked play, and they will also be able to be used on land. One requires stone and one requires ore, so we'll see how these prices change in the next 2 weeks. All right, land plots, 5 cheapest per rarity, starting with your common natural. Last time, $13.50 to $14.85. Currently, as you can see here, all 5 are cheaper than the low last week or 2 weeks ago. So $10.75 in region 115. There are 10 canyons there. $10.77 in region 12, 2 deserts. $10.99 in region 115, 2 canyons. $11 in region 141, 4 plots available, a swamp and 3 tundras. And then finally for $11.70 in region 102, there are 9 plots, 7 canyons, and 2 forests. Moving to the rares, this one I think saw the least amount of movement over the last 2 weeks. So you can see here $22.49 to $25, same range. I think there was only one plot that was different. So $22.49 in region 122 for a forest, $22.50 in region 100 for a forest, $23.90 in region 72 for a hills, $24.50 also in region 72 for 2 hills, and then finally $25 in region 46 for a desert. Okay, moving on to the epic natural plots. $123 in region 27 for a hills, region 125 and regions 135 have epic natural for $130, a desert and 2 jungles. Region 85 has a hills for $145. Region 121 has a lake, which is grain producing, for $175. And then finally, region 135 has a swamp for $200. And then your legendary natural plots. So $4.99 to $7.50 2 weeks ago. Currently, there are 2 plots for $500, one in region 46 for a desert, and one in region 98 for a desert. Then the price goes to $560 in region 72 for a hills, $600 in regions 133 and 135 for a jungle and a tundra. Region 12 has a canyon for $750, and then finally, region 60 has a desert for $825. And these are most of your legendary plots that are available for sale. There's not very many on the market. Okay, moving to the magical plots. So $25, $30 2 weeks ago. So you can see here there's only a few under $30. So in region 115, he has a total of 4 plots, 2 of them for $22.99, 2 of them for $25.99. Each one is a Death Canyon, Fire Canyon for both of those prices. Next we go to region 17. He has Death Magic, which is a bog, which is a grain producer for $30. So 17 has been listing a lot of plots that are grain producing between $25 and $40. So if you're interested in picking up some grain producing plots, keep an eye on region 17. After $30, the price jumps all the way to $38. In region 23, there is a Death Magic and Water Magic swamp available. And then finally, region 85 has 3 water producing or water magic plots, 3 tundras for $38 a piece. So you can see here, there's only a total of 4 plots under 30, and then all of a sudden the price goes from 30 to 38. So magical plots are definitely, it looks like, on the rise. The rare plots, though, did come down a little bit. So if you see here, there are a few that have been listed under that $60 from 2 weeks ago. So currently there's a Dragon Canyon in region 115 for $44.99. Region 17, and this is one I just talked about, rare magical plots, $45. He has a Death Bog, so that's a grain producer, and then 6 water plots, 2 bogs, 3 lakes, and a swamp. So the bogs and lakes could also produce grain. After that, then it jumps to $49.77 in region 69. He has a Death, a Fire, and a Life magical plot. Then you can see it goes from 50 all the way to 68, so a huge price jump there. So $68 in region 40 for a water lake, so another grain producer. And then region 72 has Dragon Hills for $68. And then finally region 44 has a Life Jungle for $83. Okay, next are your epic magical plots. So $175 in region 27 for Death, $200 in region 46 also for Death, $219 in region 40 for Water, and this one is a lake, $220 in region 20 for another water, and that is a bog, so a couple grain producers, and then finally $275 in region 102 for an earth forest. And then your legendary magical plots, none available, none from 2 weeks ago. So now we move to the occupied plots. So last time you're looking at 57 to 65 bucks for the cheapest. Currently there is one for $48 in region 115. Next, for $53, you can pick up occupied plots in regions 13, 60, 94, and 97. Then the price goes to $55 in region 46, $58 in region 39. He has 6 available there. And then finally, for $60, you can pick up a common occupied in either region 48 or 112. Okay, moving on to the rares. So 89 to 128, 88 2 weeks ago. There's one for $90 in region 143, $96 in region 27, $100 in region 135, $128.88 in region 43, and then finally $145 in region 112. Okay, next for your epic occupied. Look at this, guys. There's only 2 available on the entire market. So $999 in region 132, a lake, which is also grain producing, and then finally $1,250 in region 26 for a tundra. And then your legendary occupied, there's still one for $2,000 in region 121, and that is a lake. All right, keeps. So there's been a couple keeps that have been listed over the last 2 weeks, right at $1,000 or just under $1,000, and those have been scooped up over the last couple weeks. Currently, the cheapest one in game in this list is the same as 2 weeks ago. The only difference is the $1,200 keep that was listed, he reduced the price down to $1,050. So there's that one in region 44, $1,490 in region 9, $1,700 in region 48, $1,995 in region 137, and then finally $2,000 in region 135. And then for castles, last time we just had that one for $9,000. That is still currently the only one for sale in region 14. Okay, trade swaps. So a month ago, 1 DEC would have got you 55.3 grain. Currently, it's going to get you 64.5 grain. A month ago, iron 2.05 iron per DEC. As you can see here, just barely above 2 iron per DEC. Stone, a month ago, just under 10 stone per DEC. Now you're looking at 8. So let's keep an eye on iron and stone going forward over the next couple weeks as we get closer to launch for the land cards. And then finally, a month ago, a wood would have got you, or 1 DEC, almost 23.8 wood, currently 31.7 wood. And then all the different craftable land items. So midnight potions have gone up from 2.3 cents to 2.7. Fortune tickets are 39 cents. Auction marks $1.65. And then look at wagon kits jumped from $4.47 up to $5.04. Your different unbinding scrolls, commons are 1.7 cents, rares 6 cents, epics 35 cents, and legendaries $1.85. Polymorph potion is still 9 cents, and the capacity flux is at 20 cents. Phoenix ash potions came up from 0.4 cents to 0.5 cents. And then your different land cards. So when the land cards first launched, they were $1.80 for the common, $2.45 2 weeks ago, up to $2.65. Rares, look at this. Rares when they first came out were $4.20, $17.99, and now currently they're down to $13.64 a piece. Epics went from $12.70 at launch to $24, and currently no regular foil legendary land card for sale. And then your gold foil common land card is $27.80, rares $63, epics $154, and there is a gold legendary land card for $450. All the land cards sold out on December 14th. Okay, guys, that is it for the Land Market Watch. The next update, of course, is going to be buildings. Still probably a couple months away, so now is a good time to store up your resources and grab those time crystals. Also, remember about those 2 common land cards that will be craftable using iron and stone. So if you are an iron or stone producing landowner, definitely stock up on those two resources. And also, you're going to need a lot of cinder. So if you like this content, please support the channel over on Buy Me a Coffee / Gathering the Magic. I do monthly legendary card giveaways. Next week I will be giving away one of the legendary Riftwatcher cards, C-Rec. So that will be going to one of the channel members. So thanks, guys, as always. Like I said, I'm going to hop off here in just a few minutes. We're going to be chatting with Blaze, Claiborne, Art Faded Glory, and if you guys want to join the conversation, definitely send a direct message over to Blaze, and maybe you can join the conversation. Love to hear how you think the directions of Splinterlands is going. Talk about Conclave Arcana, the sale, how many packs you bought, all that good stuff. So until then, stay the course, keep on forging, and have fun. See you soon.